There it is. We're live. We are live.
Are we?
Yes, we are now live.
Somebody.
If y'all want to share out the live,
Can y'all share? We don't know.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm all over it. All done.
See, Chris on top of it. Yeah, I'm gonna go share it.
I like your jumper, Haley.
Thanks. I love you too.
Isn't it weird that that Paris is a day ahead of us?
I know it is.
I know. I'm coming from the future.
And we're in the past.
I am here for it.
Oh, I see. We already got people hopping in. What's going on, guys? If you're hopping in, please share the live out. Share it. Tag all your friends, your family. We're gonna have a good night tonight.
Good morning for me.
And a good morning for Paris.
Good morning.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people already hopping in. It's crazy. It's going to sound like a broken record for the first few, but again, if you're just hopping in and you haven't seen or you haven't heard, please share the live out. We're going to give it a little bit for people to hop in. Oh, I got to get the comments.
I can't even tag followers on my page because I'm in jail. So I'll tag them all on Ashes to Awesome.
All right.
Fuck.
Just make sure you put in the link make sure just put in there. Well, the link to the live is in the comments.
Okay, say that again in Chantel.
Okay.
Or if you're sharing the live.
Oh, you're sharing the live.
So they can just click on the
You're
live.
sharing the live. Yeah,
I shared the live to Ashes to Awesome because we couldn't get in from that page. Paris, stop. I am not technology smart at all. And so I miss Chuck a lot because of
Chuck has been on a roll today for her. So.
Yeah, with me. Everything that went wrong possibly went wrong. Haley's frozen, I think.
Haley,
yeah, I was just about to say.
I was wondering. I was like, man, she's holding that face for a while.
Right? She's like.
You're frozen. See if she's able to see it. Well, hey, what's up, Jennifer, David, Casey, Sullivan? Hi, guys. Share the live out if you guys can. We love everybody being here. Who's giggles?
Oh, that's Haley for sure.
Yeah,
Haley's giggles. She didn't see it. She's not even able to see. She's frozen. Okay, guess what? I'm going to
kick her out,
and then see if
I got it.
Oh.
You're in? Where'd she go?
Who's what? What?
I don't know.
That was
I'm
hers.
No, her thing is still, her picture's still frozen.
I'm right here.
Where are you?
Where?
Oh, hold on.
You know what? Chuck's fucking with all of us right now.
Babe, you can look at the laptop. You don't have to look at the TV. Put his head around the laptop to see the TV so he can do stuff.
What's up, Levi, Jessica?
I normally can use my laptop, y'all. This is totally Chuck all the way.
Where did your laptop break?
It's me. It's not him. It's me. He was telling that for a long time.
Let's see. Chantel, Jessica Colburn said hi.
Hi.
Jennifer said, hey, Lily.
Hi. I can't see anybody. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's all right. We're kind of monitoring the
I'm going
comments.
to click on every single one.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I am going to go back to the beginning of us going live.
Oh, I need to
everybody's
add the link.
Jennifer said hi.
Can you let everybody know what I'm doing?
David, Casey, David again.
Hi, Casey. I love you, bro.
Hi, everybody. They know that I'm technology not okay, so they're here for it.
He inherited technology people that doesn't have technology works.
This is how big Chuck was in our lives, y'all. This is how big he was. I can't even manage to get my laptop rolling here.
I've been talking to them for an hour and a half. I only had 4 meltdowns, and then I just gave them a password to my Facebook, and I said, go figure it out for me.
I had to help a little bit, and then I had to go to the store.
Yeah, we've been trying for a little bit. Tech what? I'm not going to say it. Chantel
No,
can
we're
say
not
it.
gonna. We're not gonna say it.
No.
I'm special.
I'm going to comment
Chantel,
on
Jessica asked,
It's going really good, the GoFundMe. I think we're at over 30% of the end goal to give to Chris's mom. So just we're gonna share it in the links. Jared's gonna share the link in the comments.
I'm gonna share the GoFundMe, and I'm sharing the StreamYard link as well.
so we're gonna post the StreamYard link in the comments. We're gonna go back and pin it. If anybody wants to pop in during this live, you are more than welcome to. We're allowed up to 10 people on the screen at a time.
Pin comment.
So you can leave your camera off if you don't feel like actually coming on camera. You don't have to, you know, do all that. But if anybody would like to hop in,
we are gonna celebrate
Hi,
Chuck
Levi. Aw.
Oh, Chuck's brother's on here. Hi. Hi, Levi.
Here shortly. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. I spent yesterday creating
she'll fix it.
yeah. I spent yesterday creating a tribute video to Chuck, and so I put
beautiful.
some pictures and stuff together. So I'm gonna play that here in a little bit.
Okay. I would like to say I created a video, but I don't know how. Chuck made all of that for me. So
He's amazing. We love you.
Hey, I will tell you this.
For this.
I'll
Hold
tell
on.
you this. I may or may not cry. Okay.
He's gonna get the tissues, man. Stop it,
The
y'all.
video you made is really good.
Oh, God.
So, and listen, when you see the video, anybody else has anything that we missed that they want to add to it, you certainly can message it to any of us, and we'll get it to Jared so he can add it.
Yeah.
All right. I just
So-
pinned the GoFundMe as well. I'm doing it
Thank
right
you.
now. And comment. All right. So the StreamYard link is pinned, and the GoFundMe link is pinned. So if anybody wants to,
Casey.
He did a lot of dirty work.
Didn't he though?
Is it where you are?
You guys keep freezing. I try to leave and come back. It's probably David, is it?
I'll leave Casey up there.
Chuck did all my dirty work too. Yeah.
Casey's missing his shirt.
Sean from Recover Out Loud. I love you, brother. Appreciate you on here. Casey, thank you, Chuck, for being an amazing human. Jennifer Northington, same brain bestie.
I love you, Jenny.
Hey, you want to know something? That her profile picture is in the video.
Ah,
Do you guys want to hear a funny story about these hoodies?
Yeah.
oh my God, yes.
The reason I'm not wearing mine is because I'm gonna start crying, but I always so long story short, I always told Chuck, no, I'm not coming on. I'm too fat, like body dysmorphia, right? And so he's like, do you want to order a hoodie? I said, okay. So he orders it. They come from China in a fucking extra small. Like as a joke. So I'm like, okay, I can fit my arm in it. It's in my drawer behind me here. But I was like, you're such a dick. That's the relationship that we had, right? Like just fucked around with one another.
Yep.
So I can't wear my hoodie because thanks, Chuck.
Yeah, mine's a little snug too. Like as soon as I got it, I was like, this does not fit well.
Chantel, I got I extra large and it fits like an extra small. So
Yeah.
Chuck was like, oh, I'm just gonna guess sizes. No, that was not him. He would have done that.
I'm going to get my guy to. I showed Jared, but then I had another idea. I'm going to get him to launch me a couple of demos for hoodies and shirts, and then I'll post them. I think for me, though, the problem is I'm making them over here in Canada, and everybody else is everywhere else.
You got me.
I know.
It's probably not on here because you can only go when you hop on. You can only go so far back.
So if you pin it, it should always be there.
I pinned the comment. I can't
Well,
even find the damn comment anymore
neither.
because it's not.
Sorry, we're having difficulties over here.
I'm
Jared,
gonna
do you need help?
I'm gonna do
You
it.
want me to help? Because I don't know how.
Come on, legend. Stand up, Paris.
All right, look, just the
Here,
GoFundMe's
here.
over here.
I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
Oh God.
And this is what we're talking about.
Oh man.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
a StreamYard link.
Anyways,
Actually-
somebody tell a funny
Oh.
story about Chuck. Somebody.
I was gonna say I'll show you actually how my jumper fits right now. So like
My jump fit. My jump fit. I
like
love it.
it's just it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Gosh, I know.
It's that
I
recovery
ordered an
weight.
extra large and I was like, damn, it still doesn't fit. Fuck.
See, I ordered extra large too, and it's the same. It's just the same. I'm like, okay, that's all right.
Large, like
Jared, are you still struggling there? Do you want me
I think we should
yes,
tell
Jennifer, thank you.
Try and pin the comment.
Chantel and Paris.
Oh, you can't pin a link.
Yo, I think we should tell our viewers that this is like a normal us thing without Chuck, like without him. All of us just like.
Can't pin a link. Remember
So I can't pin a link. So periodically, I'll be dropping the link in the comments like every couple minutes because
I don't even
apparently,
know what that means. So
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Good.
that. So if you pin a comment, when somebody hops in the live, that pinned comment will still show there, even if it was 25 minutes ago. It'll still show up on the bottom of the screen so they can see it.
well, just gives me anxiety. So.
I can tell you. So check it out. I can tell you guys here in a little bit. Jamie Tall is going to be hopping on.
12 trip over your words, Brianna. 12
thanks,
step
Dan.
crashers. You are welcome to hop into. There's a spot for you. Chantel had asked before to make sure
Why?
we have a spot for you.
Why'd you cut me off?
Because they were right here. I had put their comment up on the screen, so
So
I was responding to them.
Chad Value's going to be on here soon. Jamie Tall's coming on. Dylan Rickman and Alicia
Yes.
from High Sobriety will be popping on. So people will be popping on here and there. Oh, somebody. So Evie just popped on.
That's 12-step crashers.
Hey.
That's why I said it, so they
No,
can
I
have
know.
it. I
I
wasn't cut me off because it was in Moran.
I
What's
think
going on?
So Chantel, thanks for inviting me. Much appreciated.
you guys think I have an accent. He's got an accent.
Wow.
Because
Yeah, he really
I'm
does got
French
one.
Canadian. That's worse than Canadian.
Hey. Where's Steve through the glass recovery? I identify as half Canadian thanks to chucking him.
And me,
I don't know why, because I just like those
thought this was
accents.
the day that I
you
could
could
go
be
to
from
Canada.
Saskatchewan too.
Y'all hear me, and I'm like, what? Y'all sound so amazing.
Uh,
And you want to know what's funny is like this is when I remember when we used to do our game nights and stuff. Like this
Yeah.
is exactly how it used to be,
It really was.
just like this.
We're just never on script. That's like beautiful.
as requested by Mama and
We
the
have another
others.
12-step crashers.
What, Chantel?
Is requested by Mama though, and the family of Ashes to Awesome podcast. We tone it down and focus on the love that Chuck shared. And what's the message to the newcomer? And what's the message to somebody who's just coming back to the rooms? What's the message to the family? And what message did Chuck carry? Sorry.
Oh, I heard the Jelly Roll song. What is it? Winning Streak. And for some reason, like it reminded me of something that Chuck would really love. Because even though his, it's the "You Are Loved," like it just for some reason it just reminds me of him.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard it?
No.
No.
What is it?
So,
Can you
Winning
sing it for us?
Oh, I
Winning
love
streak
that.
idea.
I love it. Yeah, I heard it the other day. Winning streak.
yeah, it basically says nobody walks through the door on a winning streak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it really reminded me of him.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how many times that we fall, we get back up and we continue it every single day.
And that people that are in recovery, give us that strength. I don't
And
know.
also, it would have been Chuck's 2 years today. 2 years in recovery for Chris today.
I give him
So,
a clap.
Hold on.
It's awesome.
If I had to be on my phone and do this, I gotta use props somehow, y'all.
You don't have a way to set your phone up on something?
Yeah, can't you just get it up? Open your laptop. Open your
George,
laptop.
nice to see you,
and then
George.
set
Look
your
at you
phone
helping.
Oh, that's perfect.
And then set your phone on the laptop
Touch it.
So-
Touch the hands.
There you go.
See?
I can't read. Okay, this is me getting old. I can't read, y'all. All right, well, they'll be all right.
A lot of people cheering
Hi,
on.
Crystal.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go play that video. Are you ready for me to play that video?
Yeah.
You got it
No,
up
but
to
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
no.
right,
Hey, well,
we're going to play this.
Will that comment come off the screen?
Yeah, I'll pull it off the screen right now. 1 second. Oops. Oh, never mind. I got it right.
Oh, Jessica.
All right. We'll play it and then we'll get back to the comments here shortly, and then we will hop in and we will open the floor up.
If I would've known that you wouldn't be here anymore, I would've made the moments last a little longer. 'Cause now I'm alone, and you're just a memory in my mind. I would've given anything to say goodbye. If I would've known, if I would've known, oh, I remember how we would laugh all the time, and now you're not.
Where that "you are loved" message comes from is when I was still in it real bad. No matter how erratic the conversations got with my mom, she would end with "you are loved," right? And then randomly she would send me these "you are loved" messages. So when the day came when I was fucking done, I knew she was there, right? And for the 2 years of active addiction before that, it was my perceived lack of connection that was the boot on my neck. So by her giving me that message and letting me know, and just reaffirming over and over, you see, I'm getting emotional now, right? It's so powerful, right? It's just so powerful. So that's how I end every single episode. It's a really important message, right? And it honors my mom. So fucking A, right?
I was
Damn it,
finding-
Jared.
Wow.
I know, right? I know.
Fuck you.
Hey, you know how hard it was to make that?
Oh my god, I can only imagine.
But hey, we're here to remember him, and we're here to celebrate his life and his who he is. So he'd probably be yelling at us right now, you know.
No, he's laughing at us right now. He's laughing because we're all leaking from our eyes. He's laughing because of all the tech problems to make this happen. He's just laughing.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
You
absolutely.
deserve that laugh.
100%. And I've been thinking like this morning about just like what an incredible human Chris was. I mean, the fact that in just 2 years alone, he reached and impacted so many lives. Like so many people like can't say that they've done that even in their lifetime. Like to see the reach that he's had, even man, his ability to fucking network is one like I have never seen before. Like he is insanely good at connecting with people. Like he's
That's
just
the skills of a drug dealer, though, right? It's transferable. It's a transferable skill. If you got drug dealing skills, you have PR skills, and you can network.
I mean, you're not wrong.
He was good at it.
So good. Honestly, he's just like he's just one of those people that it doesn't matter like who he connected with or when, like he was so impactful. Like even if you had a small encounter with him, like you remember him. Like he's just such a huge light. Yeah, I don't know.
I remember.
Chantel posted earlier, like, if I had issues, I'd be like, hey, how do I handle this? Like, am I overreacting? Am I reacting the right way to this? Like, what do I do?
Yeah, him and I would have these conversations where like I'd call him up and I'm like, you know, whether it be just whatever, and he would tell me always seek to understand, not to be understood. And I would always tell him, dude, you're an asshole. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, it was true though. Like, it was true every time he said that. And like, it was just, that was like his answer to me about everything. And it helped me, you know, it got me through a lot, like helped me see it from a different perspective, a different point of view. But even if I didn't always like his answer, it was, I knew it was the right one.
It was the right one because it was from the heart, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to reciprocate that with him sometimes because he needed it.
Yeah. And he was so giving of his time as well. Like the amount of times he helped me out in so many ways. And just how he's connected me with all of you guys. Like, I'm fucking in Australia, man. Like, it's just I can't, I'm so grateful and so thankful for, you know, the way that he just welcomed me into his like community of friends. And it was just, so beautiful.
I think. Oh, sorry, Jared. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go for it.
I was talking to Ev earlier, and I said one of the things that I appreciated about Chuck was Chris. You know what? I didn't even know before that they were the same person until I went on Chris's podcast.
I read that. I lost Chuck.
He's like, I'm Chuck. And I was like, oh, I've been brushing Chuck off forever because I think this guy's a shady motherfucker. And so here I am, and I find out on my first time on the show that Chuck is Chris, and I was like, oh.
That's why he had two names, to confuse you.
It worked. Well, I mean, it doesn't take much, right? But
right. Me and Chantel, what are we doing? I don't know.
Hey, real talk though, does anybody know why he had two names?
He wanted to have an alias, like
alias, and Chuck was his radio voice. And before Ashes to Awesome even started, he had YouTube channels and he had other channels, and he had. It doesn't matter what he had in that lifestyle, right? And so I was telling Ev earlier, I said Chuck provided what he had provided was nothing with ill intentions. He provided a safe space to share, but what Chuck provided was relationship building. And if you don't have that relationship in a safe space, then you don't have what he had. He wasn't in it for likes. He wasn't in it for follows. He wasn't in it for money. He wasn't in it to be whatever. He was just in it to network and build relationships and share love.
Absolutely.
That's what I found. And so that's why it was easy to build a relationship with Chris. Then I found out they're the same person. And that's what he brought to the social media world for me.
Yeah. He was definitely. I was gonna say he was definitely like working out of his heart space. Like everything he did it with heart and compassion, and like just his message alone that you are loved. Like the way that he would even speak about, you know, his mum to me, and I was like, man, she sounds like such a beautiful human being. Like you, like it sounds like you were an absolute terror, and here she was, you know, still reminding you how much you are loved. Like, you know, during those times of active addiction. And, you know, just how transformative that was for you. And you've seen that impact like it can have on someone who's in the trenches, who feels alone, who feels unlovable, like to remind them that they are worth something. You know, that is such a powerful message. Like I just fucking adore that kid. Hey,
when I was going through trying to pull clip, you know, I was trying to just for that video, and I don't know. I felt like he pointed that last clip. It was weird because I went back and looked at all the lives that we did. And that one was the one that I didn't even know what the hell we talked about in that live. But I clicked on that video and it played at that exact second. And I pretty much, it was just like, I felt like he was just like, this is it. Like, this is the one to put in. And it was crazy because like there's 100 other videos to choose from. And it was like that one at that exact moment out of the whole hour and a half that we would go, that's that moment that played.
I remember him sharing that story. It made me cry.
Yeah. And so I was like, yo, like we have to end the video with that because that's the whole purpose. That's the whole mission. That's everything is that. And it's funny on the picture in there that says you are loved on that brick wall. We were at a tire shop getting our tire changed and we seen it on the back and I took a picture and I sent it to him and I was like, Dude, look.
Really?
Yeah,
I
like
love that.
A random friggin' hood rat chop shop in the middle of fucking nothing. Like people were fighting with guns in the parking lot, threatening each other, and it's "You Are Loved" written on the wall inside.
Aw.
crazy. So
I took one.
Wow.
It says "You are loved." I sat down in a toilet stall from Saskatoon to Regina, and I looked up from the toilet and I snapped a picture. I sent it to him. I was like, "Here you go, bro." That one, just graffiti all over the bathroom wall.
I'm gonna
He's
keep a
like,
Sharpie in the glove compartment now, and when we stop places, I'm gonna start tagging the walls with that.
I liked the picture Haley uploaded yesterday about the Phoenix in the clouds.
That was in the back of my land yesterday. I have
That
been.
literally looked like one.
It was, and so my relationship was a lot different and everything, but it was so loving and just pure friendship. And I have been so sulking, like I needed some sign so I could just wake up and smile and laugh. And that was what he loved most about me, and that's what I forgot since the day Chantel told me everything. And I just needed time, like away from everything. And then I woke. It was like 5:03. Went out there and I was like, "Oh, thank you so much, Chuck. I can finally try to rest now because you're right here." And I finally felt like he was okay and he was home and he knew that we were all that he's so loved. And that was his message. He's just such a loving person, and I hope I have half of his, like just an ounce, like a little touch of his heart. With what I share and what I do with my mission, because I do share love everywhere. But he created this, and I loved it. I love the concept. And anyways, I just loved him, and I love all of y'all, and like the network, and I get to do podcasts with all of y'all, and like me and Paris met all of y'all through Chuck. So the connections, he was so good at forming friendships and putting us all together, and now all of us are like family. I was trying to explain like how us creators were affected, because people didn't understand what happened to us. Like they just assume, okay, another person. That was our family. The person that you talk to the most, like you share the dumbest stuff with all the time. Me and Chantel are like, okay, we have each other now.
Yeah.
Get ready for the shit show.
We
Like,
still can't make a meme though. Fuck.
I know. So it's like everywhere now, and I think that's
explain it to me one day. I was like, "Can you just make it for me and send it to me?"
I did that with everything. I was like, just do that. Everything.
Now I'm opening up Ev's inbox. Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this?
It's an honor.
And he taught me a lot in the even though I'd been doing podcasting for a few years. Like when I met him, like he took me to a whole nother level, and it was like and like Paris was saying, like the amount of stuff that he was like,
Mama's on.
Chantel, do you want to read that, or Paris?
You are all loved by me. So this is as his mom, I can tell you that Chris would be so very proud of each and every one of you, and still saying, if you're in active addiction today's the day to start that lifelong journey. Go to a meeting, go to TikTok, talk to God, reach out, do whatever the hell it takes to start your journey. Don't let his words die with him. He is still with you in your heart. Keep encouraging people you like or love to get the help they need. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Sorry for making you read that, Paris.
That's okay. Thank you, Norma. That was beautiful.
You did better than I would have.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama.
And
So there's actually more to that comment. I figured it wouldn't all fit on the screen, so
pull
it up on my phone so Jared can finish reading it.
Make Jared cry. Go.
Yeah.
Okay, this is in continuation of what she was saying.
Chris lived his best life.
I had to look. Chris lived his best life helping others in the past 2 years. Carry that torch for yourself and them. His grandpa Hart, 91 years, told me on the day that Chris passed, it doesn't matter how you started out. It matters most at the end. Chris did good. I'll listen in later. I'm a bit too emotional right now. Hugs to each of you, and stay connected to Ashes to Awesome. You are loved.
And so I'll follow up with what she's saying is Ashes to Awesome family is on pause right now. And we're trying to figure out how to carry on his podcast in a good way between all of us. And so we might lean into people for help. No, we're gonna lean into people for help.
Do it.
And so the page is monitored, and everything that goes up on the page right now is approved by his mom to honor the grief and the loss of her son.
Mhm.
And so Chris's message will be back, but we just need to pause right now.
Yeah, I've been talking to my marketing lady about ways that we can implement a way to honor Chris, and just to, I think, because what I've been thinking about so much is like, far out, like he put like his all into his podcast. Like he was showing up for that every single day for so long, and he was so dedicated to it that I would hate to see that work forgotten, which I know it won't be. Like, I mean, he's left a lasting imprint on everyone. But I want to be able to still direct that traffic like to his podcast. He's got hundreds of episodes.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say everything is still there too for new people to find him, or
they can binge through. Like there's so much to look at. Yeah, there's so much available, so much wisdom.
All the way from the beginning.
Exactly. So yeah, I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop in what we kind of put together. And yeah, if you want to be involved, of course, I'll absolutely ensure that.
Jared dropped the GoFundMe link again in the comments.
The GoFundMe, yes.
The real GoFundMe link.
The real GoFundMe link is in the comments. Do not fall for any other link other than this link.
Other than if it says created by Chantel Heal, then that one is.
And the beneficiary is his mom. That's the real GoFundMe. Any other GoFundMe out there is not approved and not going to mom. So
I dropped the StreamYard link as well. So if anybody wants to click on it and hop in, say something, more than happy. But I know we still have a few people that are supposed to be hopping on soon.
Do you remember the story of Gertie?
There's lots of stories with Gertie.
How Gertie became.
No, I don't.
Do you remember, Haley? I think you were on that episode.
Is that Jared's foot thing? Was that something weird like that?
No, not the foot.
That's something completely different.
You're like,
I don't know. I just what? No, Gertie. Nope. I don't know. Please tell.
The naked doll. So he bought like a little keychain and hung it from his rearview mirror, and it was a blow-up doll.
Oh yeah.
And what was it? His niece and his nephews would be in the back, and he'd leave it up and just drive around with them in the car with a blow-up doll in the mirror. So she became a mascot for a little bit.
She needs to get Gertie's stuff going.
Yo, what I want to know, Haley, is how you compare that to a foot fetish. So
I don't know. Because I was trying to think, because that's what I'm just listening to what he tells me to do. Because it was funny, and I was trying to get my brain going. You know, I got back to where my liver got shot from a parasite. So my brain was affected all during the summer without me knowing. So I'm trying to catch back up because I'm getting put back on I need a liver like now-ish. So I'm like my brain. See, Chuck was like one of my parts of my brain. You know, like that's just one of my parts that helped me get it all together. So Gertie, I was just like, that just reminded me of your foot because it sounded grotesque.
He's always talking about his feet.
I think it was your feet. That time. I don't know.
that was wrong. That's between Casey and Chuck.
Oh.
Yeah, no, not my feet. Oh, there's Chad. Chad just hopped on.
Sorry, we're doing other stuff on the phone, trying to fix things in the comments and stuff like that too.
Yo,
What's up?
Hey.
Hey, family.
Sorry I
Hey.
missed you guys. I was spreading the message.
Good.
It's all
Well done.
good, man.
So, how much has everybody been crying?
Hold on.
Off and on. It's not bad. It's
Try
not
again.
bad.
Video again.
I don't know if I can play it again.
Don't. Please
Go
don't.
watch
Play it again.
Missed
Play
it,
it
Chad.
again
I
for the
played
new.
What's that?
I said you missed the video.
Oh, well, it's okay. You can send it to me.
You
I'll
have to
send it
play
to
it
you.
again.
Yes,
You
you
want
can play it again.
You have to
So-
send it to me too, though.
Well, so
And
this,
then
I have to send it to a
Jared.
Google.
finish
What?
our list.
I'll have to send it.
Where is it?
Hold on, wait. I have to send it through a Google Drive link because it's too big to send through Messenger.
What does that mean?
Or you can just play it again.
It means you,
Send it to your
All
email.
right,
Chantel,
right,
we'll
I
figure it out.
I
Chantel,
will
we'll
play
figure it
it,
out.
and I just
Don't
didn't
worry
want to
about it.
like overstimulate all of you guys. So if you want me to play it,
A Google
play it.
Drive? What's that?
I'll play it again.
Don't worry.
I
All
know. I'll just send it.
Neutral.
All right, you ready for it?
Go for it.
If I would've known that you wouldn't be here anymore, I would've made the moments last a little longer. 'Cause now I'm alone, and you're just a memory in my mind. I would've given anything to say goodbye. If I would've known. If I would've known. Oh, I remember how we would laugh all the time, but now you're not.
Where that "you are loved" message comes from is when I was still in it real bad. No matter how erratic the conversations got with my mom, she would end with "you are loved," right? And then randomly she would send me these "you are loved" messages. So when the day came when I was fucking done, I knew she was there, right? And for the 2 years of active addiction before that, it was my perceived lack of connection that was the boot on my neck. So by her giving me that message and letting me know, and just reaffirming over and over, you see, I'm getting emotional now, right? It's so powerful, right? It's just so powerful. So that's how I end every single episode. It's a really important message, right? And it honors my mom. So fucking A, right?
Fucking guy ends the most powerful moment with fucking A. You know what I mean?
I was you had missed it, but I was telling them that that out of all the videos that was on the page, that I felt that Chuck directed me to that video at that moment to end it. So it was that's the message, is you are loved.
It's
So
perfect. Yeah.
You know, the day, the first time I did his show and then I was on the live thing with you guys ended with that. And it's always been in my hashtags ever since.
yeah.
Because it was just so profound, right? And it's like so simple. The simplest message, that's the most powerful,
You
And,
want to hear a story about how I fucked up his ending once?
I love detail.
You know how particular he was about his ending. You gotta be quiet. And he didn't tell me that the first live that we did. So he did his whole end. And then I was just like, I forgot what I said, but I blurted out something afterwards and I could see the look on his face. And we were done, and it was like, oh shit, was I not supposed to say anything? And he's like, no. But he was so.
We were talking about illegal stuff too, like smuggling animals and elephants and monkeys.
Are we just here?
He was so
I
mad.
don't know where Dylan is.
But then
He
he
should be
but
sure
then he
to
told
tell
me-
me.
But then he was like, you know what? I can't be mad at you because I didn't tell you not to talk after.
And then we had to, every single time somebody would hop on, we have to remind them, Chuck is going to do his outro. We're going to say you are loved. Say nothing else after that. Nothing.
When he called me up the other day and he was like, you want to go live? And I was just like, sure, right? And we just ended up doing that when it was about an hour live. And right in the middle of that, if you watch that show, we start getting into a conversation, and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna steer this over here because I just see my career like going. We just started touching on some like really, really like risque kind of shit. It was like he's like, no, this is live. We're not doing this.
We got Dylan and Alicia in from High Sobriety. What's up?
What's up, guys?
Guys.
Hey,
Sorry,
Dylan.
we're a little late to the party here. Hey,
That's
hey.
Dylan.
It's
Hey,
all right. It's all right.
I was just going to answer some of those questions. Oh, now I forgot what they said.
I think I know which one you were going to answer.
Okay. Thank you. He did. We Steffi, yes, we did do the daily gratitude. We did a video and stuff. And we used to do that. Yeah, the daily gratitudes. I think Ryan was on those too. I don't see him. But.
Yeah,
I remember
when we did a live or something like that before his outro, we would do our daily gratitudes.
Daily gratitudes.
Yes.
Maybe we should have done our daily gratitudes, y'all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking to him and we were like, what is going on? He's like, you got to do this.
Dude,
With the
there was one time we were live with High Sobriety, and I forgot Chuck had access to our to the StreamYard link, and we're sitting there, we're doing our live podcast, and he fucking crashes it.
I got this video.
Well, because we were talking about him, and then all of a sudden he was just like, "Hey," like if we're gonna talk about him, he can jump in.
I looked at, I was like, "What the hell are you doing here?" I was like, "Oh, I forgot." So Dylan sent me the screen recording the other day, and I was like, and he was like, he was so happy that he crashed it, and that was
I was gonna say, I feel like
he just laughed for like 2 minutes straight, just laughing, and we're like, all right, welcome. And then we talked to him for like ever after that too, like it was like 2 hours. And Jared's like, we're getting off topic. What's going on here?
That's when Jared created the buzzard. Remember the buzzard?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Whenever everyone started getting off topic, I'd hit it to get us back on.
I don't remember what it was. Do it. Hit the button.
Yeah.
We had it hooked up. We're upstairs. We're not in our normal spot. We're in our room today.
That's all right.
We decided to relax a little bit.
Yeah, we had to switch some things around too.
See how I'm in a new spot?
Yeah,
I
it was just
do.
not working. We were on with Simon, and like there was just so much like because she was like, across from me, so there was just like a lot of echo and whatever. So we're like, man, this is just getting crazy. So I just put her in the bedroom, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, because it's always been fine, and there's all of a sudden it's not.
Yeah, and you know what, Jared? I think
he's doing it, y'all.
I think it's the soundproofing, man. I think is what's doing it. I think it's bouncing the sound around the room, right? Like I'm like, I don't know if that's working against me now. I thought that it would make it better, but because we used to do it right in our kitchen, like no problem across from each other. But like now it's like the room, there's nowhere for the sound to go, right? So it's like I think that's probably what it is, because like nothing else has changed, you know. So
what I would like to do is go around the room and have you guys, have all of us say what we learned the most from Chris, because again, this is all about focusing on the newcomer and his love and whatnot, and I think it's very important for people to hear diverse of what we learned from Chuck.
I think that's a good idea.
And I think it would just, if you guys are okay with that, I think it would be cool to just explain that we lost Dylan.
Yeah.
What
else is new? He's probably in there freaking out now.
But Chantel, you want to start?
You want me to start?
And then you'll start, and then it'll just go all the way down, and then we'll end.
All right. So, I met his mom before I met him, and so I was fresh out of my last federal sentence, and I was on parole, and I had this woman, and I'm paranoid now, but I was paranoid then. So I had this woman always reaching out to me and telling me that I was loved, and this woman, who is now obviously my other mother knew that I was grieving the loss of my own mom. And so then Chris went to detox in Moose Jaw, and they allowed him to start doing a blog from detox. And so Norma encouraged me to follow this blog. And so I'm watching this blog and I was like, man, he's so into it. And obviously then I went into a crisis because I didn't know Chuck was Chris and Chris was Chuck. So I'm
Start watching this blog and now you got a stalker.
So good, he needed two names.
The ultimate catfish.
Chuck guy. But anyways, I watched Chris transform in the past 2 years from the streets of Regina. We ran the same trap houses. We ran the same streets. We used with the same people to we collaborated together and we worked together on both of our pages. And so he's an admin on my page and I was the admin on Ashes to Awesome. And the amount of messages that I've had to respond to from his page, my page, and then the WhatsApp coming to me since last Tuesday, he touched the world. Like he touched lives throughout the world. And with a short message that came from his mom, who loves him unconditionally, no matter what he did, because that's her son.
Yeah.
And so I had to disconnect the WhatsApp because it got overwhelming. Because I have to grieve too, right?
Yeah, of course.
I feel like I lost the yin to my yang in the social media world. Because that's how we work together. But if I can tell you one thing, the messages that are coming through on all the pages, he touched lives throughout the world. And he did it in a way with compassion and kindness and caring, and he left nobody behind. You came as you were, and he accepted you for that, because some of you have inherited me now, Jared, Brianna, Ev, Eric, and you know that I don't speak the same language as other people, but he called it Shanteezy. He labeled my language. He's like, I speak.
I speak Shanteezy, so I got you.
Shanteezy too, but he has a genuine ability to connect with human beings at the level that they're at, and so the world needs to know that. Like we took a huge loss last week.
Yeah.
The world lost an amazing human way too soon, way too fast, but Creator needs him. And he's still with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People keep asking, if you guys, whoever knows, if they want to answer, people will keep asking about Sunny.
Sunny is safe. Sunny is very well loved and cared for. Sunny is Sunny's going to be adopted from what I've been told. There's a lot of people, Chris was going to school out there and he was taking classes and he had classmates and he had connections with Mike from Yatra. And so initially that was one of the first things. Where's Sunny? Haley, I'm going to pay for Sunny to fly to you and you got to take the dog. But
no, my mom, Machete mom, was all over it because when I found out about him passing, Chantal, I drove straight to Nashville to talk to my mom.
And so I think
one of the first things Haley asked me to.
Sonny's living his best life out there.
Yeah, my mom said, yeah. So
yeah, he's just living his best life.
Perfect.
We'll get to Thailand to see Sunny, y'all.
I'd seen it come up a couple times, so I just wanted to have you guys address that. Paris?
Gosh, I don't even know where to start. What did I learn from Chris? I mean, yeah, we connected just over a year ago, and because I've got the podcast Shit's Fucked, and I don't know, I think he really loves the Aussie sense of humor, that will kind of fuck this, fuck that, see you next Tuesday, this. And so he just really loved like everything that I was about and what I was doing. And I just started out, so I was like, you know, one, how the fuck did this guy find me? Like, you know, I'm not thinking like I'm even getting a reach right now. And he found me, and the way that he interacted with me, like it was just like so. I felt so supported, like immediately. I was like, this stranger feels like my best buddy. Like, and it took like seconds for that connection to hit. And talking with him was effortless. Like anytime we had like a video chat or anything like that, it was so effortless. And we would laugh and laugh and laugh. Like I remember when we did an episode with him on my podcast, like I was thinking, like when I was going through the editing, I was like, oh my God, there's so much like just empty space of me just pissing myself laughing. And I was like, fuck. And then, you know, he was being so cheeky as well. Like, you know, he was
so cheeky. I love
so cheeky. Like I remember he was I think you were even brought up Haley. He was saying, you know, how much he had a crush on you. And
I mean, it's always good to create together. There you go.
He honestly was doing like the sexy, like deep voice, because I was like, "Oh my God, your voice, Chris! I can't deal. Like it's so tranquil. Like it's so easy listening to. Like I fucking loved it. It's very soothing, and yeah. But he just taught me so much in the sense of, you know, the way, like how open his heart was, like, and the way that he was willing to give so much. And he was just so compassionate, and he was just pouring love on people. And he actually is the one who inspired me to network better, because I wasn't really doing that at the time. Like I was just kind of just trying to even get this started. Like networking was like the last thing I was thinking about. And he just showed me the power of community, and fuck man, like that, it's just been so amazing. And to see what he's done like in such a short amount of time is so inspiring. Like I don't know anyone else like Chris. Like I've never met anyone else even remotely close to what kind of human he was. Like there's no comparison. Like he's so wonderfully unique, and I'm just gonna miss him a lot. Next person, please. I'm done here.
Haley, you're up.
Really?
Sorry.
Get the crier.
Y'all, I'm gonna have to jump off, like for real. I can't.
Can't be strong.
Cries.
You'll be strong.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. All right. Well, I met Chris about 10 months ago on a podcast. First time I heard of him, and it was going to be the last time I ever heard his voice. This is a true story, y'all. And it was with Through the Glass, which is my home group, Through the Glass Recovery. And he was so adamant about arguing with me about God and everything. And I'm telling him my story, and I'm like, okay, I'm in my head, I'm like, be graceful, show him grace. And God's like, just be graceful. And I'm like, I really just don't want to. And I remember calling my mother after this podcast, because it's when I first started doing them. And I was like, I met this guy, and he is so frustrated. She was like, so you're going to work with him? I said, work with him with what? She was like, be nice and be graceful. I was like, oh, I'm going to talk to him maybe. And then I think later after the podcast, Steve messaged me and was like, Ashes wants you on his podcast. I was like, what? We had zero connection. My whole story, the way I got here, was so totally different. And I thought that he was just like, he kept interrupting me and cutting me off. And I thought, is this normal? And I'm like, is he normal? And mind you, Chuck has 2 years sobriety today, and my 2 years is coming up in January. So we're back, like, right there. Yeah. So I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, why are you? And it was, but God for Haley D says, you're going to love this man more than anything in the world. And I'm like, I'll trust this. I'll trust you, God. Because I've trusted God every day, every single step of the way since 1/11/23, when I did die. So with that being said, every day after that, we've been like the yin and yang twins, right? Like we have such a different connection because I don't send messages to Ash's page, so I'm glad you don't look at those ones.
Trust me. I'm scared if his mom gets the phone, like the bullshit that me and him talk about.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know about
we all seeing it. His mom's down here.
Haley sent me a picture the other day, and I'm like, I don't think we can put that on there. I don't think that can be added.
Okay, but it was Chuck, and he would have laughed, and it was really funny.
You definitely would
have. But so every day he became part of my daily life, my podcast, my lives. He taught me everything along the way, and in the meantime, I was that little mustard seed he needed, that little mustard seed of faith. So at that point, because he was like, like I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that. I'm like, okay, but there's so many different ways we all recover. And he was so good with being so inclusive with all of us. It didn't matter religion, race, anything, you know? So he's like, I'm just going to hear this girl out, take it for what it is. So that we talked every day until the day Chantel messaged me while I was getting my nails done in his colors, my colors, and for Halloween. And I had realized that morning it was the first day I had not spoken to Chris. And that moment is when my world just crushed. It crashed. And it wasn't a question of my faith. It was just like, I'm shocked because it hadn't happened to me yet in my sobriety, where someone I was so close to in a daily routine. Because, you know, alcoholics, I'm very routine. I have to be. And I'm like, oh no, like it just threw my whole brain like, whew, I had to deal with this. And I was like, was your liver good, Chuck? Like, no, it's not good. Anyways, but he taught me how to love unconditionally more, accept his way of views, everyone's way of views. He taught me how to be all inclusive, because my mission is not to I'm just sharing my story and how there is hope to recover. There is hope I never made it to one meeting. I went from the bottle to death. So there's hope. I'm still here after all this time, still fighting for a liver. Thank you, Jesus. I know it will come in my time. On your time, it's not mine. So he just every day, and I always tell everyone I love them every day, and I wholeheartedly mean it. And when I saw that phoenix that we talked about in my backyard, I was like, oh, I love you, asshole. Thank you. Like, I'm just so happy that you're free and I can be okay to be here. And I'm just grateful to be here, that he connected me with all of y'all and everyone that's watching. I can't see anyone's comments because I'm not technology credible. Like, I'm not at all. Chuck did all that for all of us. So we've all learned that. We've all learned that. Also, I got out of the laughs. I'm just here for laughs and Jesus. Which is pretty awesome. So he just taught me how to literally live one day at a time, because I do wake up and I'm like, thank you, God. Thank you for today. Thank you. I think for all of y'all, everyone in recovery, everyone that's trying. And that's what he taught me how to get better at, because I didn't know how to necessarily get better at reaching out, because at the end of I was a closeted alcoholic. So how am I going to talk to people? He taught me a lot about that, a lot about compassion and just how to love another human being no matter what is going on in their little hamster wheel. Because me and Chris have some big hamster wheels. Chantel knows. So sorry. Anyways, if y'all are watching, I know that Chuck really genuinely loved all of y'all, and he loves all of us, and he would love for us to just keep spreading the message, give his family some time and some space.
Yeah.
Like Chantel requested, and just let them heal, because they are healing. They are such a big part. His family and our family, we are all such a big part of this passing. So we are trying. By the grace of God, all of us are trying. So I'm just happy to be here with y'all, all of my friends, my family. I just love y'all. So that's all I got, y'all.
Love you too.
We love you.
Love you, Haley.
Love you more.
I want to start talking like you. I like your accent, y'all.
Y'all,
it's beautiful.
I want to come down. I need Rachel. Where is Rachel? Addict with a Purpose. Where's she at? Tag her.
I don't know. where
She was talking she was in downtown Nashville, and I missed the outreach. I was like, I've really got to teach her some more better Southern language because she's trying so hard. She's like, yeah. Like, you don't have to try.
Well, some of us do, okay, Haley?
I love y'all's accent because I just do. And everyone loved Chris's voice. We all know the voice. It was what we wanted to go. We wanted to go to Sweet Dreams with. So
remember, I always used to tell him, like, dude, like, you should start selling your radio voice for like
bedtime stories. Yeah, bedtime stories. Oh my god,
Jared, you have the VIP access subscribers thing. You could get bedtime stories, Jared. You just didn't get the VIP access code. I'm not giving that link out to anybody.
Just have him doing an audible of the Bible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yo, I actually like used to listen to it. It's super relaxing. So like imagine the two combined.
Yes. Oh gosh, I can.
Like a Bible podcast.
I feel like somebody can make that happen with his voice. His voice has been recorded so much, we could make that happen somehow.
We could do
Jared,
AI,
someone get on that.
It'd take a lot of work, but you know what?
I don't know. Someone from 12 get in there.
You just have to erase all the fucks that would be peppered through it.
Yeah.
It's the new Testament.
It's the Bible explicit version.
Fucking A,
yes. Fucking
and the Lord said unto Chuck.
The word of the Lord as pulled by Chuck.
Trust Sonny and you'll find peace within your heart.
Haley, I need to put the buzzer right now because you're getting off track.
Y'all are messing up his voice. Someone put his voice on.
12-step crashers.
Take it away. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm listening to all these stories, and can I say I didn't get to know Chuck very well or very long, although he did guide us and he did give us a lot of good information. There was a lot of parallels actually between my story and his. We shared a lot of dates that were close. I know when I went on his podcast, he tried to convince me a lot of different things because, as you realized, Chuck tried to take in everybody's perspective and tried to open your mind up to new things. And me being early in recovery, I had my rigid ideas, and while they're still expanding, I'm 55 years old, so some of those ideas are maybe baked in the cake. But he was patient with me, and we had a pretty good time on the podcast. I think I felt really close to him in the short amount of time I did, and did know him. And I would deliberately make our pages a little niche and a little maybe raunchy. But I would deliberately send them the odd memes and tag them in a little bit. Thanks, Chantal. Deliberately make memes just to see if I could get a reaction out of them. It wasn't even for anybody else, and I would. So that was always fun. And he'd be like, "No, man, I can't use that on my page. I can't. There's no way that's happening.
I have sponsors."
Sponsors. He used to say that all the time. It's like, well, we don't have sponsors.
It's true though.
That's why I'm restricted for 6 months.
But
I'll try anything 10 times.
But I really did go back into his library, especially a lot of the talks he had with Lisa and Dr. Lisa, and I really enjoyed those. And I'm gonna miss those actually quite a bit. Actually, you can see. I'm sure there was chemistry with all of you, but it just seemed like they really had a good rapport, and they really dived into a lot of important subjects, especially with youth and with mental health, especially that which obviously we touch on sometimes in our podcast. I made a meme for him once using Dave Chappelle. I don't know if anybody knows Dave Chappelle, the crackhead that he does, I had him, like he's so strung out, and he's like, "Got any more? You got any of those You Are Loved memes?" And
That was great.
I
Stop.
love that one. That was one you used actually. But yeah, and you're right too. What a presence. His voice. He could. I think that was the key in a lot of ways for when I was listening to his podcast. Is he'd lull you in. He had that soothing lull to his voice. It was almost a cadence he had that was unnatural, really.
Like a siren song in a way.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He was a natural for that. That I maybe refined it on these other podcasts you were talking about on YouTube, but yeah, what can I say? I'll pass it off, Dev. It's just really sad.
Yeah, it is extremely sad, and I find very unfair that him of all people had to go so early. 2 years today. He did so much in those 2 years, and that in itself has been a constant inspiration. Because I have this tendency of saying, "Well, I'm going to do something when I'm going to be ready, when I'm going to be recovered. Then I'm going to be able to talk about sobriety." But we never recovered, right? We still recovering, and we will be recovering for our entire life. And what I got from his podcast the first time I listened is that, well, day zero of sobriety deserves to be talked about. And I didn't figure that to begin with. And our podcast is kind of shaped in that idea that we are in early recovery, and we make a podcast about the fact that we don't know shit about fuck. Very humbly.
Yeah, I said that today.
And those Ozark lines in there.
Yeah,
so exactly. Yes, that's where the quote
so
comes
rich.
from. But anyways, all that to say that he made me believe that it was possible for us to do such a thing, and also show me how simple it is with modern tools. Chantel, you could learn. Trust me, you could.
If we can do it.
Can me and Chantel take your class?
You want me to teach a class in tech?
No, I want somebody to teach us.
Okay, yeah, sign me up.
We gotta
No, not us. Chantel, we gotta go back to kindergarten, sis.
Throw me back down on that list as well.
You were able to get sober. There's hope for all of you.
That is true. That is true. Amen. Amen. That is true.
Chantel asked earlier. I told her she needed to do something, and she goes, "Can you just do it for me?" I said, "No, we're gonna learn how to
That's
do it."
what Chuck did for me and Chantel.
He did.
Here's the video. Make it happen.
I said, we're gonna walk you through it. You got to learn how to do it.
No, now I just send it to Ev and he does it.
I do that.
And don't enable them.
Y'all are just giving Dylan ideas to make me have to learn this, and I'm not here for it, so I needed to stop immediately. Because I just show up, look good, that's it.
I set the shit all up in the background, struggling.
She was working and making beautiful tattoos all day.
Yeah, your girl's tired, okay?
That's right. Slay queen.
I think what I'm going to remember the most from Chuck is that he wanted everybody to succeed. And that might be something particular in sobriety, but we're are together celebrating him. We could be looking at our numbers and be rivals and trying to be the best sobriety podcast, but there's none of that. There's only a big, large family of fucked up people trying to get better. That's very beautiful. I'm going to pass it on to you, Chad.
Hey, guys. It's so funny because the common theme is just how much he wanted everybody to do well. Like, I had no desire to even do a podcast at all. Like, it was an idea that I'd thrown around from time to time, and I can't count how many times I'd just be driving around and there'd be a call and he'd be like, "So, you fucking doing it yet, or what are you doing?" Like, I didn't even think I had what it took to do it. I'm still not sure I do, but he seemed to really believe I did, and I can remember, like, I think the second or third time I was on his show, we actually disagreed on something and it got really emotional. And I remember like having to step back and be like, holy shit, like this is really affecting him right now. And, afterwards he thanked me at the end of the show because he was just like, not a lot of people would have seen a different side of something, right? Including myself. And it showed me his character, you know what I mean? Because, he was right and he had the knowledge, right? And it wasn't like he was trying to fight to be right.
Yeah.
He just, just random calls in the middle of the day to say he loved me or something. You know what I mean? And I only knew him like 7 months or something. And this one just hit different for me. Like it really hit different because, he was supposed to chat with me this weekend, for the second episode, and, he got to see the first one. And that makes me happy because he just kept saying, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Just do it. I didn't even want to do the first one live and I did it live and I'm watching it and I'm cringing and he's telling me how great it is. And I'm going like, no, man. But he just, when I put that clip up yesterday, I watched him, last week and he was struggling with his back and his arm. And, clearly that had to do with what, by the end of it, what was affecting him and being sad that he couldn't go to the doctors. You know what I mean? And like, that's it was a live thing. It's on there. And I just remember at the end of it, I'm like, you got to go sit down, rest up, love you, brother. He's like, love you too, man. And that was the last thing I said to him. I got to tell him I loved him and he said he loved me back, and it's just like, yeah, man, like the conversations, like the things we had to talk about at some points that I didn't even know him well enough to be opening up the way I did, but he made it so easy. You know what I mean? And just, I'd message him and go like, dude, okay, how do you do this on CapCut? What the fuck? I don't know how to do this. And he would just sit there and he'd be like, the one thing he said that I think is one of the most beautiful things, he's like, collaboration happens at the top and competition happens at the bottom.
Absolutely.
Always
said that.
And I'll never forget that because so it started with meeting Jared. And through Jared, I met him. And then through him, I met all of you. I met Jamie. I met you guys. And now it's like, I see this whole big other world of recovery that I didn't even know existed. Yeah. Right. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. Like I'm in the, we don't want to die business. You know what I mean? I don't care how that looks and what that entails, but by nature, I'm a 12 stepper. You know what I mean? But to be able to have the conversations with Chuck, he was an abstinence guy too, but he just saw things so much different and gave me a chance to see things different. And it always comes down to trusting the message. And when I trust people who I'm talking to, it sure makes taking that information a lot easier. Right. And I trusted where the message was coming from. And so, it allowed me to look a little deeper and put my ego in check and be able to see something from another side. And look at this community he's brought me into and he's allowed me to be part of you guys, and now I have all these people that I've never met any of you guys in person. But I know all of you guys, and I'm going to know you guys better now because of him.
Yeah.
And that's something that you can't buy.
Amen.
So I'm very blessed today to have all you guys. And let me tell you, there won't be a day goes by that I don't tell you guys all I love you, whether I've seen you in person or not.
Love you. Love
Right?
you, Chad.
I love all you guys.
Love you,
So
Chad.
much love.
Girl, what are those?
I have props for days. Y'all don't know what Ashes and me did.
All right, moving on.
Move on. Hidden, y'all. It's a joke.
Same night that you came on, Chad, when we were done with the live, I looked at Jared and I'm like, those two definitely hit it off. Like, you can tell through the screen that you two, like, it was like a bomb went off when you two met.
Yeah, I was really excited to see what was going to come because it's funny because my friend Paula, she's like, you guys have a weird chemistry, eh? Like it's a really good thing. And I'm like, yeah, it is. I go like, I can't wait to get him on my show. But
I remember telling him about you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I was like, you gotta, you know, I was like, there's this cat Chad. I was like, I was having him on. I was like, you gotta link up with him because, of course, Chuck was always that way. It was like if I had somebody on, he's like, dude, let's do it. Like I will always tell him, hey, here's so and so. So yeah, no, you guys definitely hit it off.
Yeah, well, I'm very blessed to have all you guys, like really blessed. So thank you all for welcoming me the way you did. And
yeah, man.
Mrs. High Sobriety.
Well,
hello, Lisa.
Hey,
I miss you.
I miss you. I still need to send you a
Jamie talks in here, but she's not on yet.
I think for me, it's a little bit of a different dynamic because Dylan deals with like most of the high sobriety side of everything and like because I'm a little wrapped up in starting a career at the moment. So I just kind of show up to our podcasts and give her and then just like pop back out and it just is what it is kind of thing. However, we did have Chuck on with us one time and then there was the time that he had kind of hopped on and we're all, you know, around the same time. We just celebrated our 2 years, Dylan and I, and they, you know, Haley and him, they're not far behind, right? So it was kind of early on in our recovery ish, like about a year in, I would say. And it was still at that point in my recovery where I was just like taking it day at a time and it just was what it was. Once we had Chuck on with us and, you know, there's obvious like the talks of gratitude and like, you know, him forcing you. I think shit like that's uncomfortable because when you're put on the spot, right? And you have to sit there now and like there's a million things that you're grateful for, but now you got to pick one and it's like, which one is the best? But I never really in my recovery had felt put on the spot, even for myself to think of like, you know, what am I actually, aside from the obvious things, like what am I truly really grateful at this very second? And I never ever did that in my recovery. And then we had him on and I find it's something that I'm doing like pretty often because, you know, there are days where they're much harder than others. And for Dylan and I, the last few months, it's just been like one thing after another. And every day I got to sit here and pick, you know, what am I most grateful for right in this moment? Why am I still doing this? Because there's been days where I say to Dylan, even I'm like, what the fuck did I do this for nothing? Like to just struggle and be, you know, fighting for dear life just to survive. And then you take it back. And it wasn't until probably a few months ago that I really noticed all of a sudden the algorithm changed on my page and Chuck's like posts were just like filling my feed constantly all day, but only when I needed it. Not ever just randomly, you know, like because most of the time when I'm on my social media, I'm dealing with work stuff and I'm not even really paying attention or I'm mindlessly scrolling reels. But then there's Chuck or there's a post and it's just kind of like right when you need it. He just always seemed to show up and say something that you needed to hear. And, you know, of course, when I had woken up to the news, I was like, it's just crazy because we were kind of talking with Jared and Brianna a few days prior, and we were actually laughing about how like Chuck just like popped into that one live we were doing and he was like, what's up? And then like and he just died in like that moment that all of us were just kind of sitting there with the exception of Jared because you know how he keeps a tight schedule, but we're just all dying and the more he's dying the more we're dying, you know, and it's just kind of like everyone was just laughing at each other, laughing for like what felt like too long, and then you know Jared's like, all right guys, back on track. So you know but you know I think what I learned the most was to actually like be in the present and actually think actively about what I'm grateful for and actually do it every day now. And it wasn't until just recently that I even noticed that I was doing it, so it's kind of cool that he did that for me. But I mean, like I said, I hide. I let Dylan do all the social media stuff, so I don't have like a super sweet story about him. But I did love him.
That was a sweet story.
Yeah.
And it was my live that he jumped on that one day because I had there was a storm here. I've never got to do the live because I was like, Chuck, help me! I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
He just had to take it over for me, and I couldn't get back on my whole live.
yeah, it was always random too. Like I felt like with him.
Hi, Jen.
Yeah.
Good night, Jen. Thank you for
Good night, Jen.
Good night,
Good
Jen.
night.
Well done.
Good night, Jen. Oh, I couldn't see. Love you, sis. I'll talk to her later.
You are
Yeah.
loved.
The thing is,
Love
we,
you, love
we
you.
never actually got to have an official episode with Chuck. We had one scheduled after actually we had spoken quite a bit, me and him, over social media. But I think the first time that we spoke with him was when he saved our ass because we were in a live with Haley and there was a storm going on, so she was cutting out and then he was like, "You want me to jump on?" And so he came on and that's the thing about Chuck is that, you know, we talked forever. You know what I mean? And it turned into our own episode with him, you know what I mean? And we didn't get to officially have, his own episode because I think we rescheduled it after and it didn't end up working out. But yeah, like Chuck saved the day because we were on a live, we were struggling.
Yeah,
we were like, uh-oh, like, what do we do now?
Oh, yeah, because that was when I first started doing it, remember?
Yeah.
Alicia, when she was messing with it, all these things are falling and she's cussing at the thing, and I'm in the studio and I'm like, what's happening? I was like, she is my best friend. I don't even know what's happening. And I thought they could hear me. I'm like, oh, girl, this is me every day. This is me. It's so funny.
Yeah, and I was, I was like, oh no, like this is live. I'm like, oh, we lost her again. We lost her again, and then all of a sudden, there was Chuck. He's just
he always had my back.
Yeah, he was, and I had a great time talking to him, and then, obviously his voice was just, I'm like, how do I get my voice to sound like that? You know what I mean? Like, are you doing something technically to make this happen, or like why? How is it so bassy and nice? But that was just Chuck's voice. That was just how it was, and I loved going back and listening to him, on our podcast. And I had heard in here, I found Chuck through Facebook and listened and started to really listen to him and Dr. Lisa, a lot, and I really enjoyed their talks, and I think that those two were meant to be together on the podcast. It was just everything, the dynamic of it was just great, and I'm like, I gotta have this guy, and it was his voice that brought me in, and I'm like, this has got to happen. I gotta get him on here. And this was really early starting when we started the podcast. It hasn't even been a year that we've been doing this. It's in January is a year, but I had connected with him pretty early on and started setting things up. But we did one with Jared and then Brianna, and then he jumped in on it and like it just went all over the place, and we're from Canada too, right? So we kind of we related to Chuck on that, and he would talk about I think it was Alberta that he lived in.
Yeah.
And so he would talk a lot about that. We're from Ontario and Niagara Falls.
Well, you guys are really close, eh? I'm right in Oshawa.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh,
sweet. Yeah.
Cool. Now we can meet in real life.
Haven't met yet.
I'll shoot you a message after this, but
sorry, I didn't interrupt. That just excited me.
No, that's
I know.
I mean, that's cool, man.
Usually
it's usually we're talking to someone. Yeah, like Jared is really close to us. You guys are like really close.
Just in a different country. It's all
yeah. Just
we can almost touch.
just a distance by a bridge. That's it. But,
Literally.
I have walked across that bridge, y'all.
There's a couple of them.
Girl, you should have stayed.
Yeah, he would talk about how he when he would spend time in Niagara Falls, and hi Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Yeah, he would just talk about anything, And you know, we're doing a sobriety podcast here, but when Chuck was on it, we were just doing a Chuck.
We're doing
podcast,
the Chuck
you know?
podcast. Yeah.
It was basically, you know, what but and that's the thing, is that he would just talk about this, and then you'd say one thing, and then you'd be right on to something else. And you know, Chuck was a great guy, and I was really sad to hear of his passing, and actually really shocked to hear about it. You know, like I would see his posts all the time and whatever, but I wasn't overly aware that he was not doing well. And you know, he'll definitely be missed. And yeah, now it's like, you know, I regret not having him on you know, to have his own episode on our podcast. But I mean, I already got 2 episodes with him, you know, anyways.
Being
so
him,
yeah,
being
so
him,
you know, like
right?
and that's why I didn't feel as bad that we had to reschedule. I think it was actually he needed to reschedule, and I'm like, listen, man, it's no rush. We got, you know, I got lots of time with you just talking. So you know, I'm like, yeah, you know, we'll get it going. But yeah, I was really sad to hear of his passing, and you know, we care about him and loved him very much. So
hey, you know, Dylan, you know that I wasn't too happy when he crashed our.
no, dude, I can see it in your face, man.
I can still see it in your face.
I was so mad. I was like, who the fuck is this guy crashing?
Yeah, fair enough. Though we were talking about him. You know what I mean? And he's like, you know what? He's watching the live. He's like, I'm just gonna jump in here if you're gonna talk.
No,
you know what's so funny? During that time, I like spoke during his outro because I didn't know.
Yeah, she got in trouble,
and I got like slaughtered on the spot. Like I was like,
no, we're doing it this way. And,
I
like,
didn't know.
This isn't even his podcast, but he's like, listen, this is how we do things when I do them. If I'm here, this is how we're doing it.
And I was like, damn it, it really stuck my foot in my mouth.
Yeah, he was a great guy. And, you know, he impacted a lot of people, obviously, you know, and you know, like I said, this recovery community isn't something that I really knew about when I was you know, in my addiction, and once I got out of it, I found Chuck very quickly. Right, like it was like I started just following pages, and it was Chuck's page, you know, it came across to me really quick, and we connected really quickly, and started working to put something together. And you know, he'll be missed for sure.
Yeah,
amen.
Brianna, so we'll go Brianna, Jamie, and then me. Jamie, if you don't know, we're basically just going around telling, just expressing what we learned most, what we learned from Chris. So.
Awesome. Like Jared said before, like seek to understand, not to be understood. Like,
damn, why are you stealing mine?
Dude, every one of you stole mine. As soon as you said the voice thing, I was like, fuck.
Hard, like, coming in recovery and learning what I learned and finding other people that could see things from that view. Like, just because you don't feel that way doesn't mean you can't put yourself in somebody else's shoes and understand how they're feeling or what they see. You guys don't have to agree, but you can still value, you know, what they're seeing and how they're feeling. And he was probably one of the first people that I found in recovery that had that same value. And I appreciate that so much about him, because it was a constant thing that we talked about, you know, whether it was on lives or in messages, you know, and it's always just, you don't have to agree with how somebody else is feeling, but they're feeling that way.
Amen.
You know, you can still understand them and help them and offer them a hand, even though you don't feel the same way, you know, and it's always to laugh too. You can laugh about anything. I was just going through trying to find a clip of him, and I was laughing again. Like we were doing a night's game, a Friday night game. It was Taylor on with us, and I'm like skipping through to find it. And every single time I skipped and stopped, we're laughing. And I'd skip and stop, and we're laughing. And I'd skip and stop, and we're laughing. And I'm like, what in the world? So it's everybody can be understood. And I think his message coming from his mom is amazing, because I think a lot of parents and a lot of friends and stuff like that, they give that tough love.
Oh,
And
definitely.
I don't think that's what everybody needs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not everybody needs, because if you give somebody that tough love and then they pass away, you know, during their addiction, do they know that you loved them because you were constantly so hard on them?
Yeah.
then you can be, can give somebody that tough love, but then remind them you are loved.
Yeah.
Like no matter how bad you're doing or, how much of a shitty person you think you are, you're loved.
Yes.
And him doing that and bringing up his mom constantly, I think that helped. I hope it helped parents and family and friends of, people that are still in active addiction to show them like, what you do to them now is going to affect them forever. So try to extend that love.
I know Chris actually would say to me how often he would hear from like parents of those like who struggling in addiction, and how much it would impact on them, on meeting them with compassion. Like that was something that he said he saw more of than anything else, and he was so grateful for that he was starting to switch those mindsets into making them meet them where they are, and to still remind them that they are loved and that they are worthy. Because you're so right, Brianna, like so many parents, I mean, there's a lot of fear. They don't know what to do, and then they react in ways where it's just like they'll get angry or push them away. I mean, it's such a hurtful time for everyone, but to meet them, in a place of love, even if you have to set boundaries, but still meeting them in a place of love and making sure that they know that they're loved. Like, it's just his whole mission. And yeah, I know he's definitely impacted a lot of families through his podcast.
I think that's one of the most, out of everything, I think that's one of the most important things that he's handed even to everybody on the screen here. Some of us may have people that are, currently struggling. Well, I know we all know somebody that's currently struggling, and instead of pushing on them, like, give them a hug. You don't have to enable them. You don't have to stand next to them and what they're doing, but you can still love them where they are and show them, like, you can still come out of this. Like, you are still worthy. Like you said, Paris, you're worthy of coming out of this, and you're loved, and, let's do it. Oh, she actually let you pick her up?
No, she's fighting me.
I was like, Jared had a baby.
Down, Jared.
Our cat hates me.
I don't like that.
I force her to love me.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't like that.
I'm leaving.
All right, yours are up now. They're not down. I'm still gonna run though.
No, seriously, I'll be right back.
I was going to touch on the part about his mother and my mother. We wanted so much to get them on a live together. We got my mom to agree to it because everyone knows Machete Mom, and so that it is important. But my mom has become like the sobriety parent for all of my friends in sobriety. So they like call her. They call her mom. She thinks their kids are her grandkids because she knows that their parents aren't there. And she learned that through watching me and Chris talk and through his message. And so she just started doing that with everybody. And our parents, the parents of addicts and alcoholics that are in recovery and are struggling currently, they just don't know how to react. And him and Dr. Lisa helped that establish that the family are learning how to deal with us, right? So. And the whole, the parent part, I just love that so much about his mom because we related on our moms and then our dogs. And anyways, I just wanted to thank his mother again for being so loving and caring and making sure that Chris felt loved every day of his life. I just wanted to thank his mom.
Coming off of the love that his mother gave him.
Amen. Absolutely.
And that's so impactful for everybody else to know.
Yeah.
No matter who it is, like, the love that you give them now while they're struggling can affect the rest of their life.
Yeah.
The love or the hate that you give them.
Yep.
Yeah. It's had an absolute ripple effect.
Yeah.
And look at his legacy now. It's so loving and so all these amazing things. There's not nothing bad, because he was incredible to all of us. So,
So I think thank you, Norma.
Sorry, I'll let Jamie talk. Hi, Jamie.
I just wanted to say again, thank you, Norma.
Hi. She's from Georgia. Her accent might be thicker.
Just real quick, just before Jamie goes on, just because you know me, I'm the fun police over here.
Oh.
I just want people to know. Jamie's gonna go. I'm gonna go. I am gonna play that clip one more time for people that didn't get to see it.
Sure.
After.
Yeah.
And then we'll just do our daily gratitudes, and then Brianna pulled up Chuck's outro, his famous outro that he normally does, and we'll end with that.
Cool.
Perfect.
Jamie.
Cool. My turn. Okay. So, you know, he definitely did like so much work with families. Well, I just want to say first of all, like for me, he taught me about just like not taking myself too seriously. Like just like making fun of myself. Like, you know, we were in a creator group together. That's how I actually met him. And he would always make like these memes and he would like put our faces on them. Like we were like, I'm like just like Ninja Turtles and like just like the weirdest stuff, you know what I mean? And like
I remember that, Jamie.
yes, and it was just so funny. Like it was, oh my goodness. He was just hilarious. Like he just brought so much joy to me and like taught me about like, you know, you don't have to take yourself seriously. You can just like have fun. It doesn't always have to be like so serious, you know? So that was just, that was a super gift. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I also want to say that like, you know, Chris was like such a big brother type to me. Like we had lots of conversations about like things from my past that that I haven't opened up to a lot, like with, you know, just the whole world, right? And he always like drilled it into my head like that, like you are like worthy of more than that. Like you deserve more than this. You know what I mean? Like he just like saw me in like a different light than I could see myself. You know what I mean? And he just like gave me so much wisdom on different things. And but the biggest gift, and this is like the biggest gift that he gave me is he actually had my son. He did a talk with my son on his podcast, and my son had just come to move in with me. He was 19 when I finally got to be like mom, you know, and we were trying to like, you know, restore our relationship, and he had my son on a podcast with Ryan, and literally like help my son like process the trauma of like having a mom in addiction. And it healed me and my son's relationship so much. It gave my son like a voice, like because my son had been voiceless, you know what I mean, like his whole life with me being gone and me being in addiction. And then finally, like he gets his mom back, but he never talks about anything. You know what I mean? Like nothing ever comes out. And with, you know, and then Chris and Ryan like do this talk with him. And then my son is like doing podcasts with other kids whose parents are in addiction. And it just like, it gave like my son a voice, you know? And it was just so beautiful, and it caused like so much restoration and healing in the relationship between like me and my son. And that's just priceless. It was like a miracle, and it was priceless, and it was beautiful. So I will just forever be grateful for that. Man, Chris, when I found out about it, like I was just like, of all the people, you know, like, you know, like of all the people, you know, because he had such a cool, like, perspective, and he was humble, and he was like pure. You know what I mean? Like he was pure. Like he had grace and mercy for everyone, like everyone. And it was just beautiful. It was just really beautiful. So I know that through all of us and through his community and is Chantel on here? My screen is so small.
No, she had to go.
Yeah, she had to hop off.
Okay.
She was until you got here.
Sorry, I just came back from Nashville, so I was like driving.
My hometown, I wasn't there.
Yeah, Haley, you weren't there.
I was there Thursday and Friday.
That's lame. It's okay. I'll probably go back at some point, but
You will, because I'll be there. You'll come back.
yes. Yes, but our game nights, look, our game nights were fire. I have never
So much
had
fun.
so much fun, laughed so much, and been so uncomfortable all at the same time.
We gotta bring it back. We gotta bring
We
it back.
have to. I'm in.
Was on
We
that
have
game
to.
where I met
Yes.
you the first time. Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
we gotta bring that back.
That's what I like about Midnight too, is bringing other people on there. And instead of sitting there like listening to their story or something like that, like you guys got to know each other as people, and it would make chat. It would make other connections for people, and it was just. Even though some people got mad at us sometimes, they were still fine.
Yeah.
I loved it. I had a good time, even at the uncomfortable spots. That was the most, actually.
I live for uncomfortability, so
You're telling
Me
told
too.
Emily that we're gonna, or I think it was Rachel, that we're gonna bring Game by Night back. It's just gonna be, it's gonna look different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so
it
fun.
may
I know
not
my
be
oh, sorry.
It may not be like a consistent thing, like the same day every week, just because of everybody's schedule. But we will definitely.
We'll bring it back.
We all got busy, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, the winter's coming up. Are we all gonna stay?
Nothing to do.
We're all gonna be
Not out here anyway.
All the farmers will be inside. When I say all of them, I meant me.
So,
yeah, it's cold as shit where we're at, so I'll be indoors as well.
I know. I wish I
hiding.
was up there getting Timmy hose with y'all, Alicia.
Yeah.
Hibernation
summer.
season in Canada, buddy.
Whatever, Paris. Like summer. Must be nice.
We don't even have winter here. It's like, what is a winter?
It was 22 fucking degrees today. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it was hot today.
That's all I'm gonna do this winter, Paris.
That's
It's gonna be
hot?
snow
Oh my
video.
It's like supposed to be
It's hot
cold
for
right
us
now.
Canadians, okay?
It's
Canadians
like almost
are not used
November.
to that.
All right, I'll adjust.
That's our summer weather, okay?
I'm gonna play the video before I give my spiel. I'll play the video really quick, just because I know it's getting late for some people, and then we'll wrap up here shortly. So I'm gonna play it one more time.
If I would've known that you wouldn't be here anymore, I would've made the moments last a little longer. 'Cause now I'm alone, and you're just a memory in my mind. I would've given anything to say goodbye. If I would've known.
Where that "you are loved" message comes from is when I was still in it real bad. No matter how erratic the conversations got with my mom, she would end with "you are loved," right? And then randomly she would send me these "you are loved" messages. So when the day came when I was fucking done, I knew she was there, right? And for the 2 years of active addiction before that, it was my perceived lack of connection that was the boot on my neck. So by her giving me that message and letting me know, and just reaffirming over and over, you see, I'm getting emotional now, right? It's so powerful, right? It's just so powerful. So that's how I end every single episode. It's a really important message, right? And it honors my mom. So fucking A, right?
I've watched that 3 times, and I've cried all 3 times.
Yeah,
It's never got any easier. Damn sure.
But that's okay, because Chuck was a crier too, man.
He was so emotional.
He cried on like almost every fucking episode.
Every one, like at least a
Yeah,
little
he
bit.
cried on mine as well.
Sorry, Jamie.
Oh man.
But I see, and it's funny. So I met Chuck through Hard Knocks. You know, Dan and Donna at Hard Knocks talks, and it's funny because we messaged each other the same day, almost at the same time, to be on each other's platforms, and it was crazy. And we cross-messaged, and he's like, "Holy shit! Like I just messaged you to do it." And we talked, and like we hit it off like that. Like it was. I met Chuck, and then we fucking talked every fucking day after that. And and again, I've been doing podcasting a few years already, but like he with how big his heart was, you know, he helped me fine tune it, you know, and like Paris was saying, like in the beginning when we first started, it was like, you know, like he was always like, "Hey man, like I'll help you edit your episodes and all that." And I'm like, dude, like you got your hands full doing your own shit, you know? But that's who he was. And then like we have this vision that we didn't see a lot of other people doing, and that's when we created Black Ash Radio, you know, and it was like we combined the Blacklist and Ash is Awesome, and we got to do, you know, over 20 episodes together. And you know, towards the end it sucks, you know, some people know, some people don't, but like when Chuck passed, like we weren't in a talking stage because we let some stupid fucking shit get just, and I beat myself up about that because like we were, I don't know, see, I'm gonna fucking cry. But yeah, Chuck taught me to always love. Sorry.
No, man.
Don't be.
No, I literally just
Paris
can't
and
even look
Lily
at
were
you.
able to
I'm
talk
just-
while they were crying.
I don't think I've stopped crying, to fucking be honest.
He I mean, he was always, you know, he was always there, whether it was a good day, whether it was a bad day. And as much as I didn't like his answers, you know, it was that bullshit answer of seek to understand, not be understood, you know. And I loved it and I hated it at the same time. But it's just, I would call him, I'd have a bad day and I'd be like, "Listen, man, tell me, am I like out of pocket for thinking this?" And I'd explain the situation to him, and then he would tell me, like he would tell me exactly how it was, whether I liked it or not.
Yeah.
And I knew right then and there that he wasn't just one of those people that's just gonna say it because you want to hear it.
Yeah.
He was gonna say it because he knew it was right. And I love him. I wish things, you know, would have been different, but you know, we're here. We're gonna continue his legacy through us and through every single person in the comments, every person that he's touched. Always remember to let people know that they are loved. Yeah. That was mine.
It's beautiful.
Thank you, Jared. I know that was tough.
Thanks, Jared.
Love you, buddy.
Love you, Jared.
Love you guys too.
Chad, is your screen big enough to read Bradley's comment, or do you want to have somebody else read it?
I can read it. Give me a second. Sorry if I can wipe the tears away.
Oh, we got to put the glasses on.
I and him were both in active addiction. After I got clean, I didn't think I would ever hear from him again until like July of this year when I came across the Ashes to Awesome page. I was over the moon happy to see what he was doing with his life now. He invited me to be interviewed on his podcast. I wish I would have acted on that. Yeah. So one thing we keep doing, like we live life like we have another one in the bank, you know, and we don't take for granted the things we find trivial.
Yeah.
You know, and Jared, after connecting with you the other day and having that talk, like I've talked to you every day since, you know, and I just don't think there's time to take anything for granted anymore. Like we're only here temporarily anyway, you know, and to waste time over fucking nonsense or things that, you know what I mean? In the big picture, like I remember, I'll share it quick. I won't take you guys hostage, but I remember my pastor talking about a rift in the church because one guy was bringing in donuts and they were leaving a mess, and the other guy from the church was getting mad about it, and the whole church ended up divided over these donuts. He's like, can you imagine standing in front of God when it's all, you know, divided and saying, why did this happen? Because of fucking donuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's one of those things where I refuse to take any more time for granted. Like Chuck just wasn't the guy, and if anything, if we can take anything from this is what he brought together, and he's going to allow us to not take those moments for granted, because we can't have more of these situations where you guys don't know, that you're loved.
And I was going to just say, Jared, like, thank you so much for sharing that. And I know that's such a complex set of emotions for you, like, to be experiencing that. But just know that Chris knows how much you loved him.
Yeah.
Like, he does.
Yeah.
And, that friendship was still very much valued no matter what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, to further on the gratitude aspect of things, not a lot of people in their lives have the opportunity to do the things that Chuck did and put himself out there in the way that Chuck did, and left a ginormous what's the word I'm looking for? Footprint on this whole social media situation with the recovery community, and it may be gone in the present world, but it's just a click away to see his face and hear his voice at the same time, and in almost real time, kind of. That is really something that not a lot of people get. I lost a good friend of mine, a childhood friend, last year, and the amount of videos that I had with her were so sparse, because back then when we were kids, it was not such good video quality, but the point is that we're lucky to be able to have such a huge archive of moments to look back on and remember him by. So
absolutely,
at the very least, Jared, keep that in your pocket rather than thinking about the what ifs, because that shit tears you apart, and like everyone here does, that he obviously did truly love you right to the end, just like the rest of us.
He mentioned that the last conversation we had, and I talked to you about that, Jared. Like, he didn't like the fact that you guys weren't talking either, and he knew that it was going to come back. It was just some time had to come through it, right? And so he knew. He never ever, you know what I mean? He knew.
Yeah. All right, we are at Chuck's favorite part of the show, which is
Alicia's favorite part.
My favorite part to interrupt. Have at her. I'll go. I'll be ready.
He's like, yo, can you boot her out?
Do it. We're all gonna do our daily gratitudes, and then we are going to play Chuck's outro, and we're gonna end it on that note. So everybody in the comments, drop a daily gratitude. Along with us, and we can all whoever wants to start, and we can work our way up. Chad, why don't you start?
I'm grateful to have known Chris Horder. I'm grateful for the people he brought into my life. I'm grateful for this community that I'm part of today. I'm grateful to be teachable today. I'm grateful for my recovery. And I'm grateful for all of you guys.
I am grateful to be able to be on here with everybody and just be able to share the inspiration and the things that he's that Chris has imparted to us, and to be able to celebrate his memory. I mean, that's just such a gift. To be able to celebrate all the things that, all the gifts that he imparted to us, and all the joy that he brought to us, and the things that he taught us. And grateful to be home in Athens. Tennessee is cold. Georgia is warm. I would never make it in Canada.
Bless your heart.
We got coats here. You'll be okay. You don't have to. You don't have to live in the igloo.
You've been so cute, cuddled.
Don't forget your skis in July.
I remember us talking to Chantel one time. I don't remember if it was live or recorded. And she's like, I'm not even opening my door right now. It's so cold and windy outside. The door is not even getting open. And we get cold here, but I can imagine like the temps that you guys get up there, and
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a little different.
But we don't have tarantulas or giant snakes, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
That's a toss up.
I don't know. I could
for
probably
them going
deal with the snakes and stuff, man.
Fuck that.
It's the kangaroos you got to be worried about, dude.
They're right.
Well, on a side note, I was always so jealous that Chuck got to fucking kiss an elephant because that's always been on my bucket list. And I would always tell him, dude, I want to go ride an elephant. He's like, Jared, you can't say that. He's like, people don't ride elephants out
that's
here
when
anymore.
you interrupted his ending.
That's what it was about.
Yes, because I was like, I have an elephant tattooed on me. That's my dream to go to sanctuary in Thailand, and that's how I interrupted.
I always wanted to ride an elephant. And he said it's like inhumane and racist to say you want to ride an elephant in Thailand.
No,
and I was
because they're like
I think they are sacred there or something.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
but Jared, you could come to Tennessee and get on the elephant anytime at the the circus down there in Memphis or
They
Nashville.
still have animals in the circus out there.
Yeah, my daughter got on an elephant when she was like 3. Now I haven't been since then, so I don't know.
Yeah, they don't have animals.
It's been a while since I've
now.
seen
I that was the last time I had been, y'all, and I was not
You can only ride
sober minded. I know. I just heard my kid get on an elephant, y'all. That's all I got.
I guess it's my turn. I can see Jared. His fucking face is like.
he's like, oh my god, come on, hurry.
I'm grateful to have known Chuck, and I'm grateful for the message that he sent out. And I'm grateful that he's he's touched families and kids and everything. You know what I mean? Like that's just such an accomplishment. Sorry, not like that. I just mean like it's like we do the podcast. It's
edit. We're live.
You can't edit it live.
No, I know.
You know damn well he would be laughing.
Disclaimer: Chuck wasn't touching kids like that.
Right now.
He made you say that. We know it. He wanted you to say it. Just keep going.
For once, it's you being made fun of for what you said.
No, I think that like we do the podcast and we talk to a lot of people, and it is very like individually based when we do the podcast, and because we're kind of talking one-on-one with somebody, and the difference with Chuck is that it branched out so far. You know what I mean? And I'm really grateful that he put that message out, and you know what I mean. It's always focused on everybody, and I'm grateful that Sonny is safe, and because he loved that dog very, very much, and I'm grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for this recovery community that I didn't know was here. And yeah, I'm grateful to be here. I'm glad that you put this together, Jared. Is really, really great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, Chantel, too, even though she's gone.
And Chantel.
Yeah, thank you, Chantel.
I am gonna, if it's okay, cut in and go next because I got to take some potatoes out of the oven.
Oh yeah, we got shit in the oven.
Girl,
We always have something in the
potatoes.
oven, man. What was it last time?
always.
When we were on with Chuck,
Bread.
you had like
I was
buns
making
in
bread.
the oven or something.
Yeah, I was making bread.
Yeah.
I mean, in being grateful, there's just no short list, really. Especially with being brought to you guys. I'm grateful that every time that we did speak with Chuck, it felt like we were speaking with everyone that Chuck had ever made an impact on. And now kind of full circle being here with you guys, and some that we know and some that are new faces for me anyways. It's really, I'm really grateful to know that I have a few more people to turn to, and that I have that because of Chuck, and I'm grateful for potatoes.
Yeah.
Me too. Amen. Amen.
Yeah, good. Girl is starving.
Girl.
What is
Struggle
Jared
is
doing? You look like fucking Brett Michaels in the
What
70s.
just happened?
Brianna wanted to put a wig on me.
You guys are wild. You guys do the wildest shit on StreamYard, I swear.
You don't even know, you don't even know half of it.
I didn't know. Jared, I didn't know you were a switch.
Because when we were on with Chuck, when we were on with you and Chuck jumped in, you guys were
burning
talking about something that you were doing
On
on
my way.
StreamYard, and
Yeah,
he was like, "Whoa, what the hell?"
Bro.
He was like,
Hold
whoa,
on,
what were you doing on
myself
StreamYard?
seriously. All right, Haley, your turn.
Listen, it records.
Hi, Haley.
Hello. All right. First and foremost, I want to thank our Heavenly Father above that I'm here right now with all of y'all to be in this moment with y'all. I'm very grateful for God giving me that chance today. I'm very, very grateful for Chris and all the hearts and love that he shared throughout the world and through all of us that are on here and then those that are not on here. There's so many of us that are not on here. I'm really grateful for that love and connection because now I do have family everywhere, all across the world. If I can go to Australia or anywhere, you know, Canada, Canada. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for recovery community in the rooms and outside the rooms and all the outreaches and all the love that is shared in and out. And that's one thing that I'm just grateful every day about recovery. I didn't have this before, so I get to have that every day of my life. So thank you. That's all I got. I love y'all. And I love all my followers. I cannot see anything because I don't know what I'm doing without Cruz. They should know that by now when I went silent, radio silent. Thank you, Jared.
Thank you. You know how long it took you to log in to get on here?
48 minutes. Do you know how long it took you to help me log into here?
You kept coming in, and I'm
episode with
adding you to
Simon
the
Cross.
stage, and then you kept leaving. I'm like, what's going on?
All right.
I like to do that.
Yeah.
Bam.
Bam, I'm here.
I should have brought more hats. I should have brought hats in here. I could have just kept changing them.
Dude, I would die. That would send me into orbit, like actually.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that, y'all. I'll get on that. I'm sorry, Jared. I'll shush.
You guys you make me feel like I'm this dictator. Like
Everybody play quiet mouth.
I just like to keep us on track.
This is a
Professor
tribute to
Jared.
Ashes. I don't think anything was supposed to be on track.
Yeah, true.
If that was the case, we would be live for like 4 hours.
I love that for us, but I can't do that for 4 hours.
Yo, I'm literally starving.
It's been over.
Yo, I'm literally-
We're going to Alicia's. We need potatoes. We're not.
Nah, I bought them at Costco.
Yeah, Costco's doing.
Yeah. Okay. I'll start with what I'm always grateful for, that my eyes opened this morning.
Amen.
Every morning I'm quite surprised when that happens, so I don't take that for granted. I'm grateful for the message that Chuck brought. I really, like I mentioned it before about those episodes with Dr. Lisa and on ARC and about youth and everything. It just touching and reaching all these families, and he talked about that to us as well, about all the messages he receives from mothers and fathers and families, and trying to understand. He followed a lot of them right, some to their graves too, and he be there for the families as well. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing what he did, to tell you the truth. It seems like it seems almost impossible to think of such a load that he carried. And look at the community he reached out to and he brought together. I'm very happy that he helped us along. We haven't been here very long, and our page hasn't been on very long, and he gave us a lot of good guidance, and that's just who he was. He couldn't help but be helpful, and he couldn't help but give, and his message is clear, right? And we all realize that we need to carry on the message as well, and you are loved is the message.
Amen.
Right.
Amen.
Thank you. Love you, brother.
Thank you. Love you back.
That's what you say. Love you back. I'm steady. Just kidding.
Yep.
Yeah. I often say that I'm grateful that I'm an addict, but I feel that really much tonight, because if I wouldn't have been an addict, I wouldn't be in that room with you tonight. I wouldn't have met Chuck. and none of the love and the warmth that I feel right now would exist. And that's precious. Everybody in this room is precious, and that connection between all of us is Chuck. So Chuck is forever alive with us, and I'm grateful of that as well. Grateful of his mother for those simple words, "You are loved." And I believe a lot of addicts haven't heard that enough, either in their youth or their adult life, or both. We can never say that we love someone too much, but I'd forgotten that often, and you reminded me of that for good reasons, I guess. I now never fail to tell the people around me that I love them, and I'm grateful for the impact he had on me. That's very selfish, but on the universe as a whole. Thanks for
I
Chuck.
say all the time, selfish is kind. So be selfish.
Paris.
I remember the last time I did this with Chuck, I said I was really grateful for his voice.
Oh, his voice
Which
was good, man.
I still very much am. So
he was blessed
still,
with that one. That was a good one. Oh my
God, what a gift. But yeah, so still very much grateful for that, and just so grateful that he even took a chance on me, you know, like I barely had started and he saw something in me and believed in what I was doing, and you know, to be pouring, you know, so much love and encouragement onto me, it was just life-changing. And then to have my whole world, you know, open up to everyone in his community, I mean, it's just incredible. I'm just so grateful. And you know, as Eve said, like, so grateful to his mom as well for the way that she was taking care of Chris through his active addiction. Like, there's just not many parents that do that. And you know, it's just, yeah, it's all stemmed from her. And Chris has just been such a, I don't even know how to put it, but like, he was just such a beautiful vessel to deliver that message, if that makes sense. He was just so powerful, the way that he put that across these platforms, and you can see the impact that it's had. And I'm just grateful to be here with all of you. I'm just, love you all so much. Even the people I'm just meeting now, I love you.
Love you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Brianna. My daily gratitude today is laughter, love, and community. And I think all of us embrace that. And like Haley was saying before, like, losing Chuck wasn't just losing another one. Like, this was a community, a family, like, all over the world. Like, the internet is an amazing thing. And I'm so happy that it's advanced the way it has. Or else we want to, you know, build relationships with people. You know, you grow up in your area, you meet people in your area, you may not like them, but you can go on the internet and find somebody that you connect with, you know, anywhere. And I think that's amazing. So grateful for love, life, and community.
And like piggybacking off of like Brianna, like, you know, like,
always
as a, no. I am, what I'm saying though is that even though, you know, like, yeah, we didn't lose just somebody like that was like family, and like, even though like we had the relationship we had and where it was at the end, like, it never crossed my mind to like, it was like, that's my brother, like, we need, you know, like, like, I will do whatever I have to do to honor him, this, that, and the third. So he's, doesn't matter what shit anyone's got going on in between, you know, like when that happened, it was just like your whole world is gone. It's not like, well, you know. So anyways, my daily gratitude though is for my fiance.
I didn't tell him to say that.
I'm glad
Yes,
mine's
you
not here
did.
because
She's on the payroll, y'all.
My daily gratitude is love. It's love.
Love it.
love is, it's so much more than just a word, you know, it's so much more than just a definition, you know, it's an action, it's everything. And at the end of the day, Chuck lived that out. Yeah. And he showed us, 100%. He showed us how to love. And, you know, regardless if he was an asshole sometimes or not, he showed us how to love, you know, like that was him. And I just love, I don't know, love is just, it's a crazy thing that I think people just throw around too much, you know, without meaning it. And he showed us how to love, and we're going to continue to love. And that's my gratitude, is love. And I love every single one of you on the screen. I love every single one of you.
Love you too.
We've made these relationships with people that we've never met a day in our lives, you know, and yet we are, you know, with every single one of you, you know, and we are close as can be. And so I'm grateful for everybody. I'm grateful for every single one of you guys. And I love everybody. And thank you guys for rocking with us for the last 2 hours and 10 minutes. I know it's been a long one, but
we're long-winded.
Yeah. So
look at it as a stand-up free comedy show, right?
Right.
I don't know.
So we're gonna end with Chuck's outro, and you guys that are on the screen, when I hit the end, don't hang up once I hit in the stream. Stay on. So please.
I'm including his gratitude too. Because
Chuck has a gratitude that fits in with this.
It is absolutely perfect. So if you guys can't hear it good enough, just let me know.
Push it, yeah.
Okay.
Myself,
can you guys hear?
Parents, I'm grateful to be able to have a laugh. Really stressful things happened on Sunday in my life, like last Sunday here, like really fucking stressful things. And it's been kind of a rough week while I process that and trying to address it. But the laugh is kind of what we need to happen right now. So, I'm also grateful to every single person who continues to like, comment, share, support, do all of the things that you guys are doing on all of our individual platforms here. We're all out there trying to spread our own individual yet similar messages. And, anytime you do any one of these things, you're helping us getting a little bit closer to living our best lives. Just to make a humble living spreading the message. You're an activation right now. Today could be that day. Today could be the day that you start a lifelong journey. Reach out to a friend, reach out to a family member, call them detox, go to a meeting, pray, go to church. I don't care. Do whatever you do to get that journey started, because it is so much better. If you have a loved one who's suffering an addiction right now, just taking the time to listen to our hasty conversation tonight. You just take 1 more minute out of your day and text that person. Let them know they're loved. Use the words.
You are loved. Love y'all.
Love you guys.